Alright boys, so today I'm going to be doing a commentary style video, and I'm doing this because this game right here is hands down one of the most fluent and just best performance rated games I've ever played in Fortnite period. And actually it is a competition duo squads game with Air Mitch and I. So we start off the game, we're dropping off in retail, and what I mean by comp is Air Mitch and I dropped together as a duo, and two other people dropped tilted as a duo, and we tried to see which team could come out with more kills at the end of the game. And obviously in game we're going to team up together to get the win if we need to. But what ended up happening is our teammates ended up dying. Excuse me. Our teammates ended up dying, so Mitch and I ended up winning the game on our own. And I just wanted to commentate this video because there's such great rotations and just performance overall between the two of us, and ultimately it just led us to win in the game. So right here you're going to see a pinch, and what I mean by pinch is you got multiple teams coming between both Mitch and I, and we just handled it so well. So I ended up pumping both of those dudes in the face pretty easily. And this right here was a bad decision on my part to try to pump this dude. Didn't really make sense, but you know, it's whatever. So he ended up dying to this paint girl, I always forget her name. But I ended up pumping, tacking, and then pumping again. And I offed her because I knew her team was rotating towards us. I saw the building over here to my eastern side. And this elite agent was actually a pretty good player. You'll see her in a second. But I lit her up with a submachine gun, and she had no heals, which ended up playing in my favor pretty heavily here in a second. As you'll see, Air Mitch. Let's see, 1 second. Yeah, it's coming up right here. So Mitch and I decided to push them because I had that player pretty low on health, and he thought it would be a good idea to push. So we made the decision to. But first, this battle. Let's talk about this for a second. This guy right here, literally, I don't even want to talk about it. I don't. I don't want to talk about that, actually. We're going to let that one go. Just bad execution on my part. I knew exactly where he was. I knew where his head was going to be, and I missed. I completely missed and hit him for like 9, which really isn't acceptable, but you know, it happens. It happens to the best of us. So after that, this is when Mitch and I decided to push the elite agent and his partner that we already killed, the two of their teammates. So right here, Mitch ended up hitting him super hard with his suppressed pistol. So after that, Mitch and I just pushed. Like, I came up here, and this guy right here with the scar underneath the building, you see, he ended up hitting Mitch with his scar really hard. So obviously I'm going to pick up the scar, leave my LMG, and go pick up my teammate. Mitch falls off right here, and I'll show you here in a second. I end up placing a roof and a triangle, and you'll see here in a second why I always do that when either rezzing teammates or just healing in general. So right here you'll hear he starts shooting at our triangle, right? So I'm making an edit real quick, and I figured out where he was, so I built, and then I wrapped around, built up again, and this ultimately put me in the position to kill this guy here in a second. So Mitch knew he was coming. He healed up real quick, as fast as he could, rotated around the right side, and the guy heard him coming. I tagged him a couple times, and I think he pumped Mitch. Yeah, right there. And then right here, he gets hit so many times with my pump. So many times, and finally I get the kill. Pretty nice shots right there. So right here I'm just gonna place some metal down and pick Mitch up. Now mathematically I added the math. I'm not gonna talk too much about it, but I did the math on the damage output that I just put on that guy with the double pump, and it amounted over 250, but yet he was still running. Unbelievable, but it's fine. Like, it happens, I guess. So right here, I'm just going to take a chug jug, reevaluate everything, and I think at this point I have 6 eliminations. Yeah, 6 eliminations, playing pretty solid. Mitch and I are at the top of the scoreboard, whatever you want to call it, and we're playing extremely well. So right here, we made the decision to move towards Salty. And the reason we chose to do that is because rotating towards Dusty Divot, there's so many people that collide at Dusty. Now, granted, we were going for kills, but we weren't in the position health-wise. Like, obviously, I had 200 health, but Mitch wasn't that healthy. So, we decided to rotate towards Salty instead. And ultimately, I believe at least, that it led to us winning the game overall. So, oh wait, we went to Dusty Divot first. My apologies. We went to Dusty Divot real quick to get some of the fat, like the jump things, because the storm was rotating in. I apologize. But the only reason we went to Dusty was for the jump thing, so we could move faster. I'm not sure what to call them. I just call them the jump things. Consumables, Dusty consumables. I don't really know. But ultimately it led to us moving, so. Like, you'll see, we don't loot or anything. There's a chest up in that tower. And I believe there's a chest in this truck right here, if I'm not mistaken. But we just decided to keep moving because the storm was coming, and obviously there's going to be rotations moving towards us, and we need to be in a better position to kill them should they rotate towards us. So right here, we just take some consumables, we move. Now, this battle that's coming up right here, I don't know about. Questionable on my part at best. So you'll see just multiple shots coming in on this guy. Boom. Boom. I missed that one, but boom. I'm just laying down fire on that dude. And finally I hit him in the head and he died. Thank the Lord, because I thought I was gonna die, honestly. So I ran over here, grabbed this med kit, and just healed up real quick. I don't believe he actually busted off all of my shields. Or maybe he did. So, I just heal up real quick, and Mitch and I are going to move here in a moment. So right here, we're rotating towards Salty Springs, and you'll notice here in a second, we've got teams rotating behind us up in the top right. So you got 3 people right there, and I believe there's a red team, if I'm not mistaken, that comes in also to Salty. But what's crazy is we never see them. Like, yeah, there's the red team. Like, we never saw them. No shots were ever fired. I think they made the decision, like, since they were already coming out of the storm, that they couldn't shoot at us because obviously we would be in the better position to fight. And we had the high ground because in Salty, you know, it's slanted that way. So we just decided to keep moving west towards Greasy Grove, and I believe that's where the circle was. And I think at this point I have 7 or 8 eliminations. 7. So we're playing really well, really well. So right here, as we're rotating, you'll see in the top right corner there's a team of 4 that is moving towards Greasy as well. And this right here is really funny to talk about because Mitch, you'll notice in the top right, he'll stay back on the hill and lay down some suppression fire. And he just starts shooting snipers at these guys. And I started getting mad. I'm like, Mitch, dude, they're going to turn around, have the high ground, and just completely dominate us. What ends up happening is they keep running. And Mitch hit 2 or 3 of them. Like, he didn't knock them, obviously, but he hit 2 or 3 of them, and they just kept moving. And that set this play right here up. And I believe this is probably my favorite play of the game. It's not the flashiest, but it's definitely my favorite play of the game. Just because it was so clean, so effortless, and we just got through it. So Mitch was laying down fire, and they stayed there. Now, what's great about that is that put failure of building on my part, but right here, I just lay down fire on these dudes. Like, knock the Omega, easy. Knock the clueless little carbide, easy. Knock this John Wick that tried to quick scope me, easy. Now this dude right here, Mitch and I, just blasted. You'll notice right here, watch this double pump. Boom, boom. Dead. Squad wipe, cleanest squad wipe in a duos game I've ever seen, or been a part of at least. So that put us in great position, and I believe at this point I'm sitting at 10 eliminations, if I'm not wrong. Yep, 10 eliminations. Mitch is at 3? Yeah. So we were at 13 kills as a team, and by this point, our opponents that we were playing the competition with had been long gone. They were dead. So obviously we already won the competition, but we wanted to see if we could win the game. So we stayed in the game. And right here you'll see this. Actually, I think this is a pivotal moment in the match, if I'm not mistaken, because this duo right here, they had teammates that ended up being at the end of the game when we were towards like end game. I think there were 6 people left, and I think the other 2 of this team were the 2 that we fought at the end. So obviously he's knocked, and I'm in just prime position to take this game right here, or this battle, because obviously, like, I know exactly where this guy is, and my game glitches. I pumped him to the head, my game glitches, and you'll see right here, this other guy that's knocked, he like goes into the floor. I was like, what in the world? So I just pumped him and went about my day. I ended up grabbing some of that loot pretty easy, and that put me at 12, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, 12 kills, looking really good. And 21 people remaining. So obviously there's 19 other than us. Excuse me. So so we decided to rotate towards Greasy, and you'll see in the top right of your screen that there was actually 6 people in Greasy before we got there. Now there's 4 remaining. That squad of 4 just obliterated that other squad somehow. I don't really know. But you'll see right here. So there's a squad of 4, and Mitch and I decided, instead of engaging right away, you see how they separated so much? There was a John Wick, and then the rest of the team just ran. I laid down some mad fire on this John Wick right here and took him down to, I want to say, probably like 30 or 40. And you'll see right here, I just start blasting off some grenade launchers, and this right here was probably 2 of the best Scar shots. I only shot 2 of them, so you'll see right here, I hit this dude in the head twice, and he's just dead. 1, 2, bam. So after that, I decided that we're in prime position to move, because the dude in the back decided he wanted to res his teammate. He was not in the position to do that. So this John Wick right here that I had down to 30, just didn't think we were coming, I guess. And I just ended up ramp rushing real quick, placing a wall, and bam, there's a quick pump shot to the head. And then I keep moving, and right here, the squad that's rezzing, he actually picked him up, so I ended up shooting their wall and replacing it with my own and running to the side. I knew exactly when they were coming out. Boom, pump shot. Boom. My game glitch right here. Don't pay attention to it. Boom, pump shot. And so that leaves 6 people remaining in this game. Okay. Great game. We're playing excellent. And I believe at this point I'm at 15 eliminations. Yeah, and Mitch is at 14. I mean, sorry, 4, excuse me. So that puts us at 19 total. And we're just playing lights out right now. So right here, I found a bunch of hills, and Mitch needs hills, I believe, and he comes and puts on some minis and a med kit, I believe. So while he's doing that, I take survey of Greasy, make sure there's no other rotations, and obviously, like, I didn't have this map in the top right, so I didn't know where everybody was. So with the circle being centered around Greasy, I decided just to go ahead and build up, get the absolute high ground that I could, and wait, because should the circle come to us, we're obviously going to be in better position than anybody else to win the game, because high ground wins in Fortnite. So right here, I don't know if you just saw that dude jumping over in the far right. That's a duo, and that duo is, I believe, the same team, if I'm not mistaken, that we ended up killing at that house outside of what's it called? I just wanted to call it Timber Towers for some stupid reason, but y'all know what I'm talking about. So right here you have a John Wick and a rogue agent to the far left, and then right there you have a bunny and a carbide, if I'm not mistaken. So instead of Mitch and I engaging and fighting, we decided to wait for a second, because obviously they saw each other first. They didn't know we were there, so they were going to push instantly. So we decided to wait. Yeah, so they started engaging right here, and what's funny, right as I started building, Mitch started screaming. I was like, "What?" And he ended up knocking the carbide on that other team, and they ended up offing him with their grenade launcher right there. They're laying down suppression fire right there, just trying to get some easy kills. And I ended up hitting this dude twice, I believe. Yeah, twice. Then I hit his teammate once for 56. So like, they're hurt. They're not like down, but they're hurt. So right here, Mitch is up at the top of the hill laying down suppression fire again, and I decide to push. So the rabbit ends up seeing me somehow, and I don't really know how, but he did. He hit me a couple of times, and I made a really bad build right here because my wall wouldn't place, but it finally placed right there. And then the carbide on this other team ended up shooting me down as I was going to get the bunny, so I ended up just walling myself in, and this carbide made a crucial mistake right here. He shot out my wall, I knew exactly where his head was, boom, headshot. Now at this point, I knew where the bunny was as well, so I ended up just building some walls, I mean not walls, ramps, and I built my last ramp right there, and then I ended up I didn't do that as fast as I would normally do it, but I made like a little makeshift fort, and here comes the guy out of his little 1x1 here in a moment. I knew where he was, but I wasn't really aware of the fact that it was only 2v1 right here. So ended up getting an easy kill, and that's the game. And I'll show you right here that Mitch and I as a team, or as a duo team if you want to call it that, finished with 22 kills and just played lights out in this game. So yeah, and if you guys want to see gameplay like this live, I stream every day on Mixer, every single day on Mixer, and I just want more people to be a part of it because I put so much effort into this game, and I put a lot of effort in my stream, and I really enjoy what I do. So yeah, it's mixer.com/itscooptv. I would appreciate y'all if you came by and watched the stream for a minute and just gave it a chance. But other than that, I appreciate y'all watching today, and I hope you enjoyed this commentary. 22 kills between a duo and a squads game, pretty solid. But yeah, alright, appreciate y'all watching. Thank you.